That needs a good wedging.
In 2021, we bought this sweet abandoned cottage nestled within a forest clearing. Our plan was to renovate and extend to the rear, but we soon found the lane wasn't fit for purpose when it collapsed under the weight of a construction vehicle. Thankfully, we found a seam of rock in this field. It became a quarry from which we were able to repair the road. We also found clay there, which was of interest to Noel, being a sculptor. Noel treated a sample, removing twigs and stones and filtering out excess water through a sieve. This was then left to dry out for about a year.
So I'll just quickly show you the clay tablet that was dug up from the ground. This was a year or so ago now. That was all, I don't know if you can see it there. This was all came out of the ground. I washed it, I filtered it. This should be almost pure clay now. It's been drying in a bowl, and it's really rock hard. So this also now needs grinding into powder, and then we'll add some water. So I'll just start by breaking it up. It's obviously, it's quite, there's no firing involved, there's no temper in there, so it's quite a soft substance, but that needs grinding up now. So we're taking the tablets, breaking them up. I've got a little bowl here. Here's my mighty, this is my pestle, this is my mortar, trusty old lump hammer. May all look a bit basic, but it crushes down quite easily. I'm going to make it as small as possible and then run it through the sieve again, and a bit of sunshine there, keep all the bits, and just keep crushing and crushing. So I've been out looking for a bag of sand to mix with my clay, no success. So I thought, what's the best thing to do? How about I make my own? Because what is sand? It's only crushed stone, isn't it? Anyway, this is how we're going to proceed. I'm going to grind it up. I'm going to put it through the sieve. I'm going to sieve it into a bowl. There's a bit already, you see. Makes quite a nice fine sand. We'll see how we get on. This is my ground up clay, you see, nice fine powder now, and I just have to add the crushed sand from yesterday, which is here. This is what you call a temper. really. It's there to allow the clay to dry out, it's there to stop cracks, it's there just to give it a bit of a bind really. So I'm going to add some of this. The recommended is between 10 to 20%. I'm just going to see how much I've got here. It's not going to be terribly scientific, it's going to be whatever I've got, I'll probably go in there. So I'm working out, this is probably 50%, that's 100% there, so I'm thinking if I fill it to here maybe, or just below there, that should be enough. Here we go. How are we doing? A bit more, I think. Might just whack it all in. There we go, all in. One for a penny, one for a pound. Probably not too far off really, you can't really see the level on it there, but that's what we've got now. That all needs a good mix. This is my mixing bowl. It's actually Jill's washing bowl, but there you go, she'll kill me. But let's get that in there. That can all go in there. Not bad little hoard really. Quite a good little. It's quite a good little amount. I think we'll be able to do something with this. Just make sure we give it a thorough mix now before we add any water or anything else. Lovely that, isn't it? I have my powdered clay. Have some water. I'm just going to start mixing them together. I'll make a little, just probably like making a cake, isn't it? It's got to be. I'm not going to try and add too much, just a little bit at a time. And just work it in and see how far we get. I think bare hands is going to be the best way to do this. Usually works for everything. And straight away you can see it's forming a clay already, which is nice. Might be a bit wet that, so it's important not to get too much water in there, but we need some more. I've left a bit of the dry out just in case I do make it too wet, and I can always add a little bit more. So I'll just keep doing this for a while and see what we come up with. It's quite nice actually. There you go. Keep adding bits of water, keep working away. It's forming it's not probably the smoothest clay I've ever worked with in my life, but it's quite gritty, but it's nice. You can see it holds form, you see, holds together. I mean, it's not fully prepared, it's not fully mixed, it'll need a good wedging after this, but it's certainly nice. You can see now how well that forms. If I just pat it with a knife, it quickly forms into something quite smooth. It's quite workable really. Pleased with that. all going to go in a plastic bag now for a few hours. As much as I can in there. These last scrapings out. Scrape off. That's the beauty of it, the clay being powdered rather than trying to make it from the chunks that you saw before. Powdering it just makes it so much quicker to be able to use it. That's gone what? That's like an hour, less than an hour probably to make that up. Whereas if I was making from the chunks, if I was trying to rehydrate the chunks, then it'd probably take 2 days. So the clay was taken out of the plastic bag yesterday evening and left overnight here between 2 sheets of cotton or bed sheet or something, I think. And as you can see now, it's firmed up. It's very plastic. That needs a good wedging. See now how clean it is now. Before, if I had done that, that would have been all over my fingers. So that now, after a good wedging, is good to go. Lovely.
The Beaker people settled in Ireland around 2500 BC. They fashioned bell-shaped vessels with clay and etched markings on the side. Here are some original beakers displayed in Cork Museum and also the National Museum of Ireland. Noel thought it might be a nice idea to try and mimic their style and design in his own creation.
So I've got myself a selection of tools now. This is all I can find. There's my clay. That's going to be my base. I've got a knife. I've got a fork. Spoons. Little spoon, big spoon. This is going to be my base. But I'm also going to cover it in cling film. And that way, nothing should stick to anything. Just a plate out of the cupboard. Don't tell Jill. Like that. This is my bag of clay now. So I just need enough. This, I'm going to make it quite thick. I'm not going to make it just because I'm on a learning curve with this. That needs all patting down, making smooth on there. Like I say, so if I can use the back of a spoon, works quite well. I will need to get some water just to. But that's probably thick enough. It's probably about 8-9 mil, something like that. Get that nice and smooth. I'm going to use this to make, just to cut the sides of the base. So that's nice and round. Everything else can be built up from there. I'll just work on this for a little while and then we'll start making some coils. probably easier doing it this way. So try and get a nice long length on that. Keep it nice and even. That'll do. And then we'll wet that up. And with a fork, we'll just make some little marks in there, just to give it a key. Just mark it up. Keep that nice and wet, that edge, so they join. We'll start building the coils. All very primitive, but there we go. So now that's on there, we need to pinch all that in and blend it as well as we can. Pinch it on the inside, pinch it on the outside. Get a nice blend all the way around. Might need just to keep a bit of water in there. Just keep working. Like I say, it's quite a gritty clay at the minute. It's probably being processed maybe a bit better. Give you a quick update on the pottery situation. I've left the bowl maybe 2 days now, just to harden that base off, because it's very soft clay and it could have collapsed. So that's just hardened slightly now, and I'll add some more layers. just burnishing the clay now. The back of a spoon. This helps to compress all the clay together. It's hardening now, it's going leathery, so it's a good time to, and it will leave the pot nice and smooth, even though we're probably going to put some line decoration on it when it's all hardened off a little bit more. But it's just part of the process. It'll help blend all the clay together, all the joints will be compressed now. Help smooth it out, finish the top off nicely. Nearly there. So my little pot is now leather hard all over. It's burnished where the clay has been compressed for the back of the spoon. It's time now. I've been looking back at some of the markings and decorations that the beaker people used to put on their pots. Very similar type of belled beaker they used to make. So, and their mark making is very primitive, scratches really on the surface, but quite ornate. So we'll have a go at doing some of that. So there we have my little beaker pot. I think that's as much as I can do for now. I'm going to let that dry out fully now, but I'm going to put a plastic bag on it so that it doesn't dry out too quickly. So that will be put away now a week or so, and then I might do some other little test pieces just to see if we can get a fire going and do some wild firing as well, which will be exciting.